Good morning, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and start with a couple extra seconds. My name is Karen Tucker. I am from Relish Catering and Events in Denver, Colorado, and I am going to be speaking about catering trends for every budget. It's going to be pretty quick because we have 10 minutes, but I did put bullet points on the slides so you can take pictures, and if you want to come find me afterwards, ask specific questions, please feel free. The first thing, I figured that we would start with hors d'oeuvres since that's the beginning typically of the party. Making a statement with your hors d'oeuvres is really important because that's when people are really gonna get the first impression of what's gonna happen for the evening or daytime or whatever. Some of the things we're seeing, comfort foods with a twist. We've been seeing it, it's not going away. Things, and I've got some pictures too, and I'll show them to you in just a few minutes. Toast and butter bars, this is kind of a new one that we're seeing. It's good for breakfast, but it's also good for evenings. You can do different whipped butters with different fruits, different spices, seasonings, bacon, which tends to be a really popular one in our world. Charcuterie and pickling, it's been around, it's staying around. We're seeing a lot of caterers that are actually doing their own in-house, which is awesome because you know that it's being made and taken care of by the people that are preparing and you're trusting with the food for your clients. And then raw bars. We didn't see those for a while, but they're coming back. Oysters, shrimp, crab, whatever it may be. We are seeing it quite often. People are just going back to that. We're in Colorado, so we are landlocked. So on the coast, it's probably a lot more popular than internal states. Some of the pictures that I have on the left-hand side, it's shrimp and grits. Small hors d'oeuvres, you pass them in small vessels. The one in the center is a Yorkshire pudding, prime rib, horseradish creme fraiche, very, very basic, simple. The others are ahi tuna. The one on the bottom left is actually a lobster pot pie. Again, taking your traditional and making them small and giving them a twist. We just put little lobster claws in it and cool presentation, people love it. A little bit of seafood, not super expensive, but it still is an impactful thing. The middle one, we did an event. This is, we did a Kid at Heart, so we did a play on all kids' foods. We did a jalapeno mac and cheese, a little slider and shoestring fries, a pig in a blanket, which is a hot dog, and then a ravioli in the little tidbit bowl. And then on the bottom right is a deconstructed BLT. So we used pork belly to put it on some brioche with some garlic aioli. Again, very simple presentations, very cost effective because they're small bites. Just keep in mind the labor, because labor can increase your pricing. Dinner. So I broke it down to different components that you can do for different budgets. Budget friendly, brisket. People think automatically of barbecue. There's a lot of great ways to prepare it, braising it, that you can make it a nicer entree that gives people the beef option, but it's not gonna be super expensive. Pork shoulder, cheeks, everybody kind of freaks out about that, but people do love them. And then some of the starches, legumes, big, we're seeing them a lot. Lentils are coming, beans, we're seeing a lot of things that we haven't in a long time coming back. And then vegetarian entrees. They are budget friendly, there's no protein involved, so it's cost effective, and people are becoming aware, even if they're not vegetarian, they're happy to eat it. We've done events where that's all they serve. And it's great. People don't know it until you usually tell them. The cost-effective pork tenderloin, bistro steak, it's got a lot of names, terrace major, shoulder tender, airline chicken breast, which is the bone in, and it's typically got the skin on, so you have to sear it, so it has the crunchy outside. And then ancient grains, quinoa, farro, those types of things are also making a comeback. So you see all sorts of different items that are kind of making a comeback, even though they've been out, they're coming back in just as trends do. And then the high-end center cut ribeyes, they're great. They've got great flavor. Duck, game meats, foie gras. Some people are a little iffy on foie gras. And then for the starches, frites, which are fried potatoes, and gratins. Great for plating, great for presentation. These are a couple of plates that we've done just to give you some visual ideas. of different items. And then we have the sweets and treats. Dessert bars are very, very popular. We're coming up with displays. People are still doing wedding cakes, of course, but they're also doing displays of other hors d'oeuvres, incorporating their favorites, incorporating what they like. Some of the popular ones that we're seeing, whoopie pies are still around. Donuts and cronuts, which are croissants stacked. They look like a donut, but they're flaky instead of being doughy. Classics reinvented, creme brulee, doing different flavors. It's amazing how many things you can come up with and infuse creme brulee with. Our pastry chef sometimes gets a little tired of it, but we come up with some very creative ones. Beyond the cake, infused desserts. Liqueurs are becoming a really big thing in desserts. Kahlua, we're doing some with tequila, whiskey, those types of things. People really like them, and they're some that are traditional, some that are not. Tiramisu is a big one, but it's every liqueur you can pretty much put into a dessert. Sweets and drink pairings is another one. We're really seeing a lot of people doing ports and paired dessert courses instead of it just being dessert bars. So if they're doing plated meals, they also have a dessert course if they're wanting it to be more of an elegant feel. I'm going to keep talking while she's taking a picture real quick, but miniature everything is shrunken down now. Again, it's the trend. There's a lot of things. Everything is becoming micro, which does affect your cost. And then late night snacks. Again, you can do savory, sweet, all of those things. I put it into the sweets and treats category because it is kind of the last thing they do. Trail mix bars are big. Breakfast burritos are still big. Anything greasy that it can absorb the alcohol consumption that they have during the event is a great idea. And then as far as the higher end chef-attended stations, this can become really labor intensive just based on the fact that chefs, for the most part, they don't like to stay all night at an event. They want to come do their serving and get out. They have to stay later, so it does get more expensive because we have to pay them. Crepe cakes, they've been around. They're staying around. We're actually making some for our company for an event today. Our pastry chef was not excited, but he didn't have a choice. And then individual and personalized desserts, we are still seeing that they're hanging around. They're monogrammed, individual wedding cakes, all of those little things that make the personal touches for the bride and groom or the couple. They're really looking for ways to put personal touches, and they're even incorporating it into their food. And then duets and trios. This is something, I've actually got a picture on this page. So there's a crepe cake. I'll just go through these real quick. The lemon meringues, we actually use as much of the product as we can. So we actually use the lemons, hollow them out, use the juice to make the lemon portion, and then we put it back into the lemons. The little one on the right-hand side, donut holes with assorted types of milk. The one on the bottom left that's a cherry tart. Again, we kept this personal. This was something, we try to keep it seasonal. Cronuts, the one that's the little one kind of in the center, that's a trio that we did, and then the individual cakes. So this just kind of gives you a little synopsis of everything that we were just talking about. And then presentation. Giving alternate presentations is a really, really important part of it. Family style service, it's where we're serving at the tables versus buffet style. We bring out platters to the guests. It's very, very popular. It's fairly economical. It's not as cheap as a buffet, but it's not as expensive as plated. Rolling carts. They're going on, everything can go on a rolling cart. Make it mobile for your guests. That way they don't have to go and find the food. You can get it to them. Russian service, pouring soup is just your first course. Pouring it at the table is a great way to formalize one course and not have Russian style the entire time. The courses, that goes to doing a cheese course, intermezzo, cocktail pairings. Make it personal to the bride and groom, the couple, your clients in general, because if you can do that, that's going to be the little touches that are going to make it special for them and not make it every other event that you've done. Rolling carts, I'm gonna keep going because I have 10 seconds and I will answer that. Breakfast and brunch coming back, and then vessels. Talk to your rental companies, see what you can use of theirs to make it different. I'm out of time, but feel free to come and ask me questions. Thank you.